Hey guys, it's Al with techmadeezy, and I am super excited. I want to introduce you to this electric quad. It's made by a company called CycleBoard that's been around for a while. This is actually the X Quad 3000. It is a four-wheel, 3,000 watt, powerful, fun four-wheel quad. This thing has a beautiful screen. You've got to see it. It's got an option for 11-inch, 13-inch, or 14-inch wheels that are coming soon, by the way. And the board itself is really just the right size for most people. And I got to tell you, I've been using this for weeks and weeks, and this thing is built well. And you know what? I do want to start to share some of this information with you. This is going to be a detailed video. I'm going to have timestamps in the video description. I'll leave some of the technical stuff and some of the tips at the end of the video. But you know what? Let's go ahead and get this party started. Hi, it's Al from techmadeezy with a real quick message. I just want to let you know the video you're about to watch is not sponsored. We went out and bought the products ourselves. So, if you like our video, please give us a thumbs up. It definitely helps. Share our video. And lastly, we hope you subscribe to our channel and become a part of the family. Thank you. To help you out, I have a list of things that I am going to be covering in this video. Now, there might be more, but I cannot fit anything else on here. All right, I'm not going to read all this, but you might want to hit pause and take a good look at it, because I'm going to cover everything, and this is going to be fun. So here's a slide that's a little bit about the company, all right? I recommend that you hit pause, just take a good look at it. You know, I thought it'd be important to include this, right? You know, this is not an inexpensive quad. So take a look at it, hit pause. We're going to move on now. All right, this is exciting. Let's go ahead and get this unboxed. Now, before I unbox it, you'll see the wheels are in there, right? With the motor, stuff like that. And then this is the scooter, obviously the quad. Packed really well from what I could see. The box had some damage, but nothing major. So I just wanted to show you kind of some of the packaging. And again, the wheels are in there. So let me continue to get this out. There you go. And I'm going to go over everything with you based off of my knowledge. And I don't have a lot of knowledge. But of course, this is the X Quad by CycleBoard, right? This is the X Quad 3000. And let me just say that this is heavy because this is made of such thick steel. I'll have weight and specs later, but this is no joke. The way it's made, the way it's packed, the way it's labeled, the way they give you instructions in the manual, the way they have, you know, set up online, no joke. So let's go over what we've got. And I might have to use this box as a reference. So here's your charger, all right? Again, I'll include the specs to this charger later on. I'm going to go over all the specs. Here is your drum brake for your right side. Here's your left side. All right, here is your chassis hardware. This is the brake bleed kit. I could say that. This is your handle. So, you know, again, it can be very helpful. And you'll see that on later on. We go to the front, and you'll notice now I've got the front wheels right here. All right, front wheels. And we'll talk more about wheels because there are more options for wheels, not just these. All right, so just keep that in mind. But here is your front left fender, and you don't have to put them on. And I might not put them on initially. Here's the hardware for the fender. Here's the this is the front right, and again, you know, plastic, light, but they do their job. And again, here's your hardware, and there is the right wheel. All right, again, here's where we're going to be setting up, because you have to install your wheels and you actually have to set up and connect the motors and stuff. Here's where the unit gets charged, by the way, and here's where your battery is underneath here. You know, here's your manual. Very nice, honestly. Color, a lot of detail. I like that, nice and thick. Here is the left rear wheel with a motor and disc brakes, right? And here is the right, right? There you go. Look how beefy these are. These are nice. And these are not even like the off-road ones. These can be both. Again, your fenders, right? Your hardware for each of the fenders. And then, you know, here's your axles, right? This should be, I think this is rear and front, but you know, this is basically the whole kit. Here is the rear motor wheel hardware. So they give you that. And then they give you the fender screws and stuff in the bag here. So, yeah, I mean, beefy, let me tell you. This is, you know, the weight, you're going to be surprised. This is not light. This is heavy. All right, again, I haven't put it all together yet. But I basically put this, by the way, on my stand. Worked out perfectly just to lift it off the ground. But I'm excited. I'm excited. Very excited. All right, so I got to tell you how the story started, right? For me and my electric journey. I got this scooter right here, this Segway, and I liked it. You know, it was a nice little scooter, very light. You can throw it in your car. You have a ball. 15 miles an hour. Yeah, not a problem. And then all of a sudden you go, you know, I want more. And I went and I got the GT1. This is a Segway GT1. It's got a big screen. This thing does 37 miles an hour, and it's a beast. It's a lot bigger and a lot heavier, by the way. So, Segway GT1. I mean, the design, you know, definitely bigger. You know, you're talking, you got some nice lights, stuff like that. So, and then a friend of mine said, how come you don't have a quad scooter? And I said, I don't have everything. And he said, why don't you check this out? He sent me a video, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, no way. They make a quad scooter. And that has led me to the CycleBoard X Quad 3000. I mean, look at those three, right? And this is just as heavy as this, believe it or not. I think this is maybe about 10 pounds heavier than this. Around there. Yep, this is over 100 pounds. And 37 miles an hour, right? So, yeah. And again, nice display. You know, you get a nice display, which is cool. And obviously you get hydraulic brakes, four-wheel braking. Really, really nice. So, that is a little bit about my electric scooter journey. Well, here it is, the CycleBoard X Quad 3000. This is a beast. I am just saying it. I've ridden it already a little bit. And, you know, putting this together, you see how solid this thing is made, all right? And their online YouTube videos, their support team, and the booklet really, really help you. You would think that you can't put this together, but really, I'm not a mechanic. I mean, I've learned to be handy, but this is really, really nice. And I'm going to go over detailed specs later, so just keep that in mind. I don't really want to go over too much right now, but to show you, I mean, this thing's got a beautiful display that is visible in the sunlight, which is nice. It's got an LED light. It's got a parking brake that is really pretty cool, where you just kind of push this out, pull the handle in, and this will not go anywhere. It automatically locks the back disc brakes. All right, hydraulic disc brakes. Insane, all right? So, love that feature. The menu takes a moment to learn, but, you know, you've got this control panel. Obviously, your accelerator right here. But, you know, this is a, you know, bicycle steering wheel that you can adjust. You can pull it forward. You can pull it backwards. I'm 6'2", and I have no issue. These are the smaller wheels, by the way. Nice and beefy, you know, really look at this system. I mean, it is crazy. And I know there's some fine tuning that I'm going to have to learn, to be honest with you. But, you know, you could see here how this is built. And I don't know if I can get down, but I want to show you, again, all the nooks and crannies. The batteries in here, it gets sealed by 10 screws, 5 on each side. This one is the gray, and it has some of the accents, which is nice. The black, I'll show you the colors later. The black is really all blacked out, but, I mean, look at this thing. I mean, you see this? This is insanity. Again, very well made, very heavy. I believe it's about 125 pounds with the battery installed. This is, you have a hitch. You can actually, there's accessories. I'm going to show you later on the light, the back light there. But look at this. And this is what I had to set up and install with the screws and everything. I'll give you some tips later on. I'm not going through the installation because their video is really good. But I'll give you some tips on mistakes that I made. But, I mean, you look at this. And this board, oh, man, it's so nice. The size is so cool. And the different thing about this, by the way, is you don't steer by turning. You actually steer by shifting your weight. So as you shift your weight to the right, as you shift your weight to the left, the front 2 wheels will steer for you. That's really it. That's really it. And it works pretty well. It takes some getting used to, especially when you're used to a scooter. This handle does fold down, by the way. I'll show you that in a second. Let me put my strap on real quick. I'll show you how the handle goes down. So it's a 2-lever system. This, basically you turn this way, it loosens it. And this has to be pushed in. It can be a little tight, so just be aware. But this has to be pushed in. Once it's pushed in, the bar will actually go down all the way. And you can see there, it lays pretty nice, you know, lays down pretty nice. By the way, I did go and buy a new helmet. I had an older helmet. I'm not using a motorcycle helmet. I'm using a bike riding helmet. But this actually has the new MIPS technology, which means when it's on your head, it will actually move. So this is the MIPS technology that's in here. So supposed to be, you know, the latest and greatest in safety. And I decided to get something that had back and very comfortable. I can put links in the description. And then I did go and obviously get some gloves with some protection for the knuckles and stuff. I'm not using knee pads and stuff yet. And you're going to be impressed with the speeds on this. But you got to be careful, man. This thing can boogie. But you got to be careful. Safety first, right? But again, just let me take this out of the holder. And just, you know, again, just the best looks I could give you on the quality. This has grip, by the way. It's also angled up. You can put the back of your foot right here, which is nice. Look at the weld quality, by the way. I mean, that to me is pretty good, and I'm not an expert, but those are really good welds, you know. And the wires from the motors go into the sides. When you install it, it just goes right inside. And this has a rating also, an IP rating. I'll get that with the specs, so you'll hear what that is with the specs. But, you know, really, just the wires are put together real nice as well. So, guys, I am impressed. And this is the beginning of the video, so just imagine later on, I'll continue to be honest with you. It's so important for our channel to do that. So I want to share something about this lever, right? This is like a second level of safety, you know, besides this being pushed out, right? So when I went and opened it, you know, and then obviously I'm closing it, right? I'm making it a little tighter. I noticed, number one, I didn't like it to be here, first of all. And number two, it really wasn't tight. So I'm like, how does this work? Do I have to use an Allen key or something? But after talking to the technical team, this actually opens up. You see how it opens like this? You see these gears? So how it works is you basically pull it down. Then you pick it back, you go like that, lift the lever, and then you pull it down again. And you get this as tight as you can, right? Once it's tight, you can get this out of the way by just opening it up and going like this. And now that is completely out of the way of my feet, and it's tight, which it wasn't before. So I learned something new, and I figured I'd share that with you. A quick note also, by the way, the unit does come with fenders, but I decided not to put them on. That's the bracket, and this is the fender that goes on, this way. Plastic, does the job, especially if you're going to be in mud and stuff like that. But I didn't put them on. I'm not sure if I will. I'm about to charge the quad, but I figured I'd show this to you so you can see the input, 110, 240 volt. So it's a 4 amp max, but it really is 3.5 amp, is what it's really giving you. 235.2 watts. So red means charging, green means you're charged, and this is the connector, that we have to connect to the side of the unit. Again, very beefy. These guys really went above and beyond with the quality. All right, I'm about to connect the charger. So when you see this, you're going to see 1 bar here, and you're going to see 2 here and 2 here. This tells you where you need to align the charger as you're putting it in, okay? And then it screws in tight. And you'll notice before I plug it in that, this stays closed with some pressure. It also has some rubber, if you could see that. Keeps the water out and stuff. But let's go ahead and plug this in. Let me just get this ready again. And basically, yeah, just kind of goes like this. Then you're going to tighten it, basically, right? So you get a good connection. I'll plug this in now, and we'll actually see some lights light up. It should be red. Yep. Okay. So you see the red there, and then on the display, when you turn the unit on the left side, you'll see your battery gauge. But that'll turn green when it's finished charging. Real quick note on riding styles. So you can actually put your feet on here and actually ride this like you're surfing. As you can see, I am actually turning the wheel by adjusting my weight. You could obviously put your foot in the back, and it's got that placement there. Or you can actually ride like this. Believe it or not, I actually ride like this. I found it easier to steer riding like this. So this works for me better. But I thought I would show you that because it depends on your style. And obviously if you're going to be holding the steering wheel this way with your wheels, your feet sideways, your wheels, your feet sideways, it depends. Each of us have different ways of being comfortable. But again, this is nice that it actually has this lift here. So it'll actually hold your foot with some grip. I hope that information helped. We're going to do a test ride. And I've got this on Eco Low. And I'll explain to you what low and high is, because there's an eco low and an eco high. Now I have auto safe start. I have it off. That's why you see that there. So I don't want to have to hold the minus key and the accelerator every time I want to go. So I have that off. But I think by default it's on. All right. I've got 58% battery. I'm on speed number 1. I'll show you how, I turn by leaning my body. Let's start off here. So I'm on speed number 1, low. It's not jerky. You don't have a lot of torque ultimately when you're on low. So it's nice. Now, as you could see, I could see the screen, by the way, and I am bending in. But I can see the screen really nice in the sun. So I don't have an issue with that. So I like that. All right, now I'm going about a half a mile an hour. I can raise the speed, but let me show you turning. So lean to turn. So again, kind of, you get used to it. It might take a little bit, but I am going to just kind of do a circle here. Again, you can lightly touch the accelerator to turn and stuff, but as you can see, It's fun once you get the hang of it, you know. I'm okay. I'm not an advanced rider yet, but as you can see, I am kind of swinging back and forth, and I'm able to turn. Now I'm going to pull the speed up a little bit. I'm at speed number 3. Again, it's going to go slowly into 3. Tap on the brake a little bit there. Brakes work really well. I end up using the back brakes more than I use the front. I don't know why. The hydraulic brakes are phenomenal, by the way. So you put it on 5. It's on 5 now. Let's see what we get on eco low on 5. So I'm at 14 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour, 16, 17. Now, I will tell you something about the speeds. I'm at 19 miles an hour. I'm going to tell you something about the speeds. You can set the speeds in the menu. So, you know, even if you're on eco or you're on tour, you can still get the faster speeds. So just keep that in mind. All right. But I'm riding over twigs now and stuff. Again, nice lean to turn. You know, again, the accelerator, just kind of lightly tap it, and this thing is a ball. It's so fun. 19 miles an hour right now, 20 miles an hour, 21. So I think I have this set to about a 22 mile an hour max. And any bumping and stuff you're seeing on the video, it's minimal. In all honesty, it's pretty minimal. It is fun, and you're on 4 wheels, and you've got a lot more flexibility. So nice turn here. And I've got it on level 3 now. So see that screen? I'm kind of bending so you can see the screen, but it's a nice screen, you know? Again, you can have fun. Now, you're not going to turn at high speed, so just be aware of that. Okay. So I just wanted to show you what it looked like at night. I mean, it really lights up. You know, this LED headlight does a really good job, honestly. I'll show you the screen in a minute. You do have a light in the back. When you step on the brakes, to my knowledge, it does flash. So, does it flash? Let me see. There it goes. Yeah, so it does flash when you step on the brakes. The screen is really nice. Very bright, clear. I got it in sport mode right now, so it turns red. I got it on sport low, so it's low torque. But yeah, you know, I mean, kind of show you what it looks like. Again, does really a good job. The LED does a good job. It also comes through the side, so it doesn't just come through the front, but it actually comes through the side. So really nice, you know, really liking it so far. Just a small, you know, just so you could see how it lights up the street. You know, I'm going to move a little bit here. All right, but it really does. Really nice job. Forget about the jerking right now. Got a car coming, so I'm going to just get out of its way. But really nice job lighting the screen up. I mean, the street up, you know, so I'm just going nice and slow right now, but that's a good beam. I like it, you know, does a good job. All right, we are now going to go over detailed specs. I'm going to talk about cost, all of that stuff. This is going to be a little while, but most people want this information. First of all, MSRP on this is $3,995. Now, let me tell you real quick, please listen. This is made very, very well. I've used this for weeks and weeks. There's nothing cheap on this at all. I couldn't complain about anything. So number one. Number two, this is, you know, a new device for the company, a new vehicle, I should say. They've been around for a while. If you saw the About CycleBoard information in the beginning of the video, you know, they've been around for a while, but this is their second vehicle, and honestly, it is amazing. And by the way, there is financing available. They do have a partner. I'll mention that later on in the video, so look out for that. You can finance this. It does come in two colors. You have a stealth black and a gray with orange designs, as you can see here. So I picked up, this is really a real dark gray. It's you know, it's almost black. It's almost like a charcoal black, but you could really appreciate the orange accents. Now the bottom frame where you look at with the wheels, that is gray, okay? And it does have gray with orange on it. Stealth black is really all black, and I'll show you some images later on, so stay tuned for that. Let's talk about the motor. So this is a rear hub motor system. It's got dual 1500 watt rear hub motors, or a total of 3000 watts, and they are IP67 rated, so they've sealed those up really well. Top speed on this thing is sick, 31 miles an hour. Let me tell you also, you can set a password and you can change the speed to what you want. So if you're going to have a child using this, you can have the speed at 10 miles an hour, and there's going to be a password that they can't get past to change the speed. So you can do that. You can also put a password in the beginning to even use this. So there's two passwords, one to turn it on and use it, and the other is for your settings, to change your settings. And we'll show you that later on. Inclines up to 40%. Range on this is 50 miles. I'll talk a little bit more about how you can get that range, because there are some specifics around that. Now the battery that's in there is a 60 volt 30 amp hour battery. It's 1800 watt hours. Fully charged, it's 67.2 volts. Now they have been using lithium LG cells, or lithium ion LG cells, for 7 years now. The battery is rated at 800 cycles, and a battery is IP67 rated also, and it does take about 8 hours to fully charge from zero. Now the frame material is aircraft grade aluminum, the chassis itself. The deck size is 10 by 27, and it is a pressure treated ABS deck. It's got a rubber grip surface too, which is really nice. The steering, I will show you later. This is not like steering a normal scooter. This is a lean to steer. It's patented, but it's a lean to steer, okay? So you're not turning the handlebars. And honestly, it could take you 5 minutes. It could take you an hour to get used to it, especially if you're used to riding a regular scooter, you know? Now let me cover ride modes. There's 4 ride modes. One is Eco, which it'll take 10 seconds to go from 0 to 20 miles an hour. Okay, that is best for battery life, by the way. Then you've got the Tour mode, and that is 0 to 20 miles an hour in 6.5 seconds. That's better for cruising. Then there's Sport. That is all out, just so you'll know. 0 to 20 miles an hour in 4 seconds. And it's really good for off-roading too. And then last, there's a golf mode. 14 miles an hour is a top speed. It's got really good torque for hill climbing, right? So it's made for golf. And I'm going to talk a little bit in a little while about speeds and ride modes. All right, a little bit more information coming up, so stay tuned. And the display, by the way, is a 3.5-inch TFT display. It's 480 by 320. It has a built-in light sensor, and in this video I'm going to show you it at night. I'll show you it in the sun as well, so you can actually check out the quality of the screen. Now let's go on and talk about tires. So the tires I have on are 11 by 4, and these are ideal for like paved surfaces, and they provide great traction and control for higher speeds. Now, there's another set of tires that's a 13 by 4, larger tires. They'll provide more ground clearance, better traction, you know, for definitely off-road or mixed terrain environments. Now they are coming out with a 14 by 5. And this is going to be a great option for off-road, definitely off-road. Looks like it'll come hopefully by the end of 2024, but you know how it goes. Is, you always have to leave a little room. The suspension on this is a double wishbone suspension, four-wheel independent suspension. The brake system, they've got four-wheel braking system, okay? The rear is hydraulic disc brakes, and the front are mechanical drum brakes, all right? And the brake discs are 165 millimeter rear disc brakes, so good information there. They do have lights in the front and the back. The front is an LED light, the back is LED also, and you'll see that. We're going to show you that at night. So let me talk about security. So there are two levels of security. One is to turn the unit on. It'll immediately give you a password in order to use it. So you can have that on or you can have it off. And the second password is really for the parameters, right? For the settings. So if you set this and you're giving it to your son or your daughter and you want it to go 10 miles an hour, well, they don't have to have a password to turn the unit on, but if they went into the settings, they would have to have a password. So you can have both passwords on, you can have one password on, it's really up to you. I like that. The maximum ride weight on this is suggested 350 pounds. Keep in mind, the heavier the person, the faster you go, those things will reduce your battery life, right? The quad weighs 125 pounds with the battery. All right. Dimensions, the length is 46 inches long by 26.5. Now, they do have a 14-day return policy. They have the warranty, by the way, is a 3-year chassis and motor warranty, a 12-month on the X Quad itself, and a 12-month on the battery. All right. And the charger, by the way, let me just tell you, the charger that they give you is a 60-volt charger. It's 3.5 amps, about 235 watts. All right. They'll give you a toolkit and an owner's manual as well, which is written really nice. Here's an image of the 14 by 5 tires coming out, hopefully the end of the year or early next year. I just wanted to show you that. And next up, I wanted to show you the financing offer with a company called BreadPay. All right, take a look at this. Hit pause if you want to review it. So I've got some good news for you. After speaking with the team at CycleBoard, we do realize that some folks might not be comfortable installing the front and back wheels, which is really the majority of the build, and even installing the handlebar. So as of October 2024, CycleBoard is offering $100 you can use to pay your local bike shop to help you assemble your new CycleBoard X Quad 3000. Now, keep in mind, you have to find yourself a local bike shop that's willing to do it. And I'm going to share the installation video in the video description. You can view it yourself. You can send it to them. You could view it yourself and realize you can probably do it yourself. Also, be aware your bike shop might charge you more than $100. You would need to pay that difference. And also be aware that CycleBoard can cancel this offer at any time. But as of October 2024, they are offering this. Here's the image with the gray and the stealth. I mean, it's really blacked out. I mean, you could see that the springs are blacked out. Everything is blacked out on the stealth model, which is nice. In this next section, I'm going to go over how do you navigate the screen by using this control, by the way. After that, I'll go over how do you change speeds, how do you change modes, how do you limit speeds, put passwords on, and more. All right, so let me first show you how to navigate, and then we'll go on to other stuff. So as we go over to this here, this is going to be up, this is going to be down. So up and down. Power button is actually going to be a back button, so as long as you don't hold it, It won't turn the unit off. It'll just act like a back button. And your information button is an enter. So enter, back, up, and down. So as you can see here, if I just press the information button, just press it, it's only going to change the middle screen, showing me how long I've ridden and, you know, my max speeds and all that, my odometer. But if I hold the information button, right, this button here, if I hold it, it'll go into a menu. Now if I hit the power button lightly, it'll go back. So let's take some time now and go over the menu. All right, let's go in the menu. So I'm going to hit the information key and hold it down. I am now in the menu. Let's go over display. All right, and see what that is. So you got your brightness levels. So again, you can change that. And what is the lowest? So let's see what the lowest is. You can put it on auto. It does have a sensor, by the way. So auto might be helpful, but this is on 80%. And so far so good with visibility out in the sun. Auto off. So this is actually going to turn the display off. You can set it for 5 minutes, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Or you can simply make this off, which is what I did. I left it off because if the unit's powered on, then I'm using it. All right, let's go down to unit. You can see here, you can choose imperial or metric. Let's go down to ride mode. And this is going to be a continuation. I'm going to give you more information. I had some questions that I had to ask the manufacturer, but they have Eco, Tour, Sport, and Golf, as you can see, on low, and then they have the same on high. Now, I think that is kind of a torque level, if I'm not mistaken. So after I finish this segment, I'm going to put another short clip going over what low and high is, but there are set speeds with Eco, Tour, Sport, and Golf, along with some having more torque. Like Golf, for instance, has really a lot of torque but a low speed. So we'll go over this a little bit later in the spec information. Now we can go down to clock, and you can obviously change your clock and change your date. All right. And then you have auto lamp. So when you turn the unit on, it will automatically turn on. I don't want that. I turn on the light manually. There is a button right here for the light down here. So you just hit that and the lights go on. So I don't bother with that. And then trip reset. So you can do trip reset. You can go in here and reset your trip. And auto braking is on. I like that. I have no issue with it. You can have it braking 100% or 50. So far, I have no issue. I'll probably play with this a little bit more. I don't think it's regenerative. I could be wrong. All right. Safe start. So I haven't tried this yet. And I'm wondering how it works. So I'll have to look it up and, you know, maybe just put some additional information afterwards. But I have it off for now. And password. So you have two passwords. One is for the unit when it turns on. The other is for when you have, like, say, you have speed setting limitations, stuff like that. So you might not want a password when you turn this on. But if you're giving it to your son, you might want, or your daughter, you might want like the speed to be set at 10 miles an hour. So basically, the second password here is going to allow you to change your settings and put a password in place, which is kind of cool. So I like that. And look at that. I didn't know that they had all these different passwords. So I do need to play with this more. I'm going to back out for now. And let's go to advanced settings now. All right, advanced settings. Let's go down, go in. And here's the good stuff, by the way. So when you go in here, the lowest speed is 9.3 miles an hour. The fastest speed I will tell you later on when I cover the specs. Please hold off because I want to give you that information. I was very surprised at how fast this thing could go. Then you go into wheel size, by the way. And they have 11-inch and 13-inch in the description. Now, the wheels on this, by the way, are 10-inch by 3.5 inches. That's what's on here now. So they list 11-inch. Now, the 13-inch, they actually make a 13-inch by 4-inch tire, which is very beefy and it's great for off-road. So you obviously would go in here to make that change. Back out. System voltage, you can't change that. All right, let's back out. Information, let's go in here. This is going to give you version for hardware and for software if you call tech support. And error information. So this is interesting. And let me back out. And as you can see, this is auto braking, by the way. This is your battery level. All right, battery percentage, battery level. This is your power level. So speed level, really. So if I want to go faster, I can do this while I'm driving. I can actually go all the way up or all the way down and change my speeds. Now, by the way, if you keep going, it'll go to 0 and then it'll go to reverse. So they do have a reverse speed, but really cool. Again, time, date, miles per hour. And then obviously, if you want to see this information change, you just press the information icon on the controller. But like I said, if you hold it, it'll go into the settings. All right, I hope this information was helpful. This next section is going to cover passwords and a little more information on speeds. And we're going to go into display settings and we're going to actually go over passwords. Let's now take some time and go over passwords. We're going to go in and hit enter to get into the display settings, which is where passwords are found. We're going to scroll down using the minus key. And you'll see here that we have password 1 and password 2. Password 1 is for the unit. All right, that means that if you want to use the quad, you have to enter the password. All right, but what if you don't want a password on 1, but you simply want to set the speed, right, to 10 miles an hour? Password 2 will allow you to protect the settings. So I could set the speed to 10 miles an hour, put a password on password number 2, and tomorrow my son could turn this on and enjoy it, but cannot go faster than 10 miles an hour. So that is some information on speed. And let me just show you what setting the password looks like. So I'm going to scroll up to password number 1. You have to first turn it on. All right, so we're going to turn it on. Then you have to go down to edit and actually create your password. All right, and that's it. Now I want to talk a little bit about speeds. Now I want to cover speeds, but let me first tell you that golf mode is the only mode that's restricted to 14 miles an hour. Eco, Tour, and Sport basically go by the speed that you set. The big difference between Eco, Tour, and Sport is the 0 to 20 miles an hour and how fast it can get there. All right, and we covered that in the video, so hopefully you saw that. So we're going to go into Advanced, and you can see here that we've got a speed of 28.6 miles an hour. And that means that in Eco, we can go that speed. In Tour and in Sport, we can actually go to 28.6 miles an hour. Again, the big difference is Eco, it'll take a little while longer for Eco to ramp up. Tour ramps up a little quicker, 0 to 20 miles an hour, and Sport is super fast from 0 to 20 miles an hour. But everyone would be limited to this speed. So if I wanted to go in here and say, you know what, I want to set a speed limit of, let's say, 10 miles an hour. Can I hold this and will it go? No, so you have to keep pressing. All right, so let's say I want to set a speed limit of, 19.9 miles an hour, or I want around 15 miles an hour. I can select that. And now, no one will go faster than 14.9 miles an hour. I hope that information helped you. Let me talk to you a little bit about Safe Start. So in display settings, if you scroll down, you're going to see Safe Start. Now I have it off, but I recommend that you start with it on just so you get used to riding this. Now when Safe Start is on, basically you have to hit the minus key and then you hit the accelerator and then it'll start to go, all right? But when it's off, you don't need to do that. All you have to do is pull this down and you're going to start moving. I enjoy it now. I mean, I've definitely learned to ride better, and I don't like having to press the minus key and the accelerator, so I leave the Safe Start off. But I just wanted to share a little bit about Safe Start with you just now. So I'm putting on the back right wheel with the motor, and you got to tighten this big nut here. So they give you a wrench, which is nice. You know, it's 22 millimeters. But to be honest, if you have one of these, it makes life a whole lot easier. Again, 22 millimeters works great, a lot faster. You can tighten it down without overdoing it. All right, so one mistake I made that's going to take me some extra time is when I installed the wheels. As you can see, I've got the battery cable facing this way. It's actually supposed to be facing that way. So obviously I did it on both wheels, and I even put the clips in. So now I have to bend the clips, take the wheels off, and turn them around. So don't make my mistake. I just want to let you know these cables have to face the other way, and I'll show you that in a moment. So now you can see that I actually have this on the right way. I put the wheels on right. I just didn't rotate them correctly, and they didn't really clarify that in the video. So the cable has to come out this way, and I'm in the back of the scooter. It's actually going to get tucked in. There's a hole down here, you'll see. This is going to get tucked in and connected to the battery and everything. But I still need to do this one, so this is the wrong way, and that is the right way. Here's another tip for you. If you ever have to do any servicing or anything like that, get yourself a motorcycle jack. I'll put the link in the video description for this one. It actually comes with the attachment so you can use a drill, which is really nice. And it's one of their newer versions. This thing was like 75 bucks. And honestly, I could find so many other uses. Check this out, though. Look how easy it is to lift this up. Now I'm going to go slow. But look at that. I can service this now. And it's stable. You know, this thing is so stable and so strong. And it supports 1,100 pounds. So believe me, 125 pounds is no big deal. Again, I'll put a link in the video description for this. But very cool. So I lifted my deck. It wasn't screwed down. I basically took, they're color-coded. So this is the motor for the back right wheel. It connects to that cable, and then this is the motor from the back left wheel, and it connects to this cable, and you just have to push them in tightly. I did put them underneath this wire, and they are pulled through these two holes. So not too bad so far. Love the motorcycle jack. Love it. Link will be in the video description. Seriously, very inexpensive, and so many things you can do with that. But I have one thing to say. That's I'm gonna criticize one thing. First of all, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a handle. So this comes with your actual quad, and it was one of my last things to install. Now you can put this on the front or the back. So really cool. Main problem right now is you have to figure out how to install it. There's no video, no booklet, and the screws they give you, the area that you have to get in here and on the bottom is so awkward and tight that I actually had to go to Lowe's and buy some additional screws. It was like $5, no big deal, seriously. And this is on nice now, okay? So if you have any questions, let me know. Only criticism. Other than that, this thing is awesome. I am loving it. Again, months later, and this video is about to be posted. So I just wanted to share that with you. Again, nice to have. The only criticism, and that's it. By the way, I just want to let you know, I'm going to reach out to these folks. I'm going to see if I can help them come up with a better solution. All right. I think they've been really responsive when I've reached out to them for help, so I think, the owner and his team will definitely help me out in coming up with a better solution so it makes it easier for the next person. All right. Just wanted to let you know that. Well, all right, guys, I'll tell you. I was so excited to get this. I have been dying to get one of these. And yes, it is a lot of money, but the financing helps. And it is made very well. So I sure hope you found this video helpful, by the way. And if you did, do me a favor, take a moment and give us a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate that. It really helps our channel. All right. Also, share our video with your friends and your family if you could. That'd be great. By the way, our social media is going to be right up top. All right. You can follow us on social media. You can check out our new Tesla channel. It's new. Look us up on YouTube at My Tesla Journey 1. And I'm going to put a video on the right side. So you can actually look for, you can check that out. You can click on that and see that. And if you want to subscribe to our channel at techmadeezy, just go ahead and click this round techmadeezy logo. You'll be able to subscribe right away and join the family. Thank you so much for your time. I greatly appreciate it.